It is Monday, August 25th, 2025. And guess what, everyone? College football is back. We are not only about to start the college season, we're a week away from the NFL season. More top 10 lists, more NFL news, a college football preview. Do we know how long this episode's going to be? Not a clue. Do we care? Not at all. Do us a favor. Kick back. Relax. Episode number 60 of 609 Sports Talk begins. Oh, yeah. Now. Welcome in, everybody, back to 609 Sports Talk live here on Facebook, YouTube, and you can always check these episodes out over on Spotify every Wednesday if you are not able to join us live. And as always, this is the show that unites fans, and tonight will probably ignite a ton of debate. And as always, we are your hosts, the man with the greatest top 10 list in the world, Sam Nelson, and Tyler Adams. Tyler, how are we doing tonight?
We're doing great on another Victory Monday. You might say it's because we won the Super Bowl. Still milking it. You could say because we beat the Jets in the preseason. You take your pick, but regardless, it is a Victory Monday.
Why? Because we got Fred Johnson back?
Yes, we did.
All right, so listen up. Football galore tonight. There is no other sports going on for the next several weeks in our eyes. I'll give you all some baseball postseason stuff when the time comes. It ain't nobody care about the NBA anymore. It's all over. But we are not only a week away from the NFL season, we are here for college football. College football has officially returned to our lives. This is just the best time of year. You know, especially for someone like me, you know, I work in retail. It's very nice, you know. Kids are going back to school. Not many customers in the store anymore. Now I get to come home on Saturday and Sunday and watch football. This is the best time of year. How do you not like this time of year?
It's like Christmas.
It is. It's like early Christmas. So let's get into it. We're going to try to give you guys our best full college football preview to start the show. And, of course, let's bring up something that we had a couple weeks ago. Let's bring up that old preseason top 25 poll. There it is. There is the AP top 25 poll that I'm sure I will pop up on the screen multiple times throughout this first segment. As you see it, we've got Texas leading the pack at number 1. I'm sure Bruiser is ecstatic. Penn State coming in at number 2. The reigning champion, Ohio State Buckeyes, coming at number 3. That's a little too high. I don't care about last year anymore. We got Clemson coming in at number 4. Mostly I was just saying that because I hate Ohio State, but that's not here nor there. We have Georgia rolling out the top 5, and then we have Notre Dame, Oregon, Alabama, LSU, and Miami rolling out there. Then, of course, we have Arizona State, Illinois, South Carolina, Michigan, and Florida. And then to roll out 16 to 20, we have SMU, Kansas State, who already lost their Week 0 game, Oklahoma, Texas A&M, and Indiana. And then to roll out the bottom, we have Ole Miss, we have Iowa State, Texas Tech, Tennessee, and Boise State. So, Tyler, giving that this is already going to change because one of these teams already has a loss on the season.
Yep.
However, I think a team with a lot of talk around them heading into this college football season, and yes, they're my team, but I think there's a lot of there's a lot of speculation going around Penn State to enter this college football season. Ohio State, they lost a lot. They're going to have a big transition year. I know Arch Manning is going to be there with Texas, but Oregon, we got to see how they look after losing guys like Gabriel, Tez Johnson. They lost some players too. So to start the show off, the reason this is going to be the starting subject to the show is because we put a poll question out for yesterday, and thank you everybody who voted on it. And that's how we're going to start the show. Tyler, here's the question. Are the 2025 Penn State Nittany Lions the best roster James Franklin has had since joining Penn State? I will let you kick us off.
I would say that Penn State has probably the most firepower out of all the teams in college football. Now, I know that's a loaded statement, a bold statement to make, because you have the team who is currently ranked higher than them heading into the college football season, Texas. The issue with Texas, though, they lost a lot of defensive starters, and they lost a lot of offensive starters as well, on both the line as well as the receivers, the running back. So the main name there is Arch Manning. But moving over to Penn State, you got Drew Aller, who's going to be competing for the name of best quarterback in the nation this year, making his case for being a top 10 pick in the draft next year. You got the returning duo of Kaytron Allen and what's the other guy's name?
Nicholas Singleton.
I always get caught up on their names. I'm not as big of a Penn State guy as Sam. But those two, I've watched them play last year. If they both went to the NFL draft, they would have both been off the board. They are NFL talent running backs that are currently working as a tandem. After this season, they're most definitely both getting drafted, and they're probably going to do pretty well. Penn State also made a lot of moves at wide receiver. They made so many moves in the transfer portal. How many was it? Was it 2 or 3? 3. And they're all going to be the starters.
Yeah.
So, Sam, you love your Penn State wide receivers. They've been struggling the past few years. So they finally went out on the transfer portal. They were able to bring in some people from some schools that they may have not have had success in, or they did have success in, but they weren't as big of a name as Penn State. So getting to come and play under James Franklin with Drew Aller, that's kind of a big deal. Now you go over to their defense. They get rid of already one of the best defensive coordinators in college football, and then they bring in the other one who's touted as the best. So they're just keeping things going there. They've had so many returning starters on defense. Yes, they lost Abdul Carr to the draft. Any other big names that they lost on defense in the draft?
They lost Abdul, as we said. They lost Jalen Reed.
That's right.
They lost Kevin Winston, but they played most of last season without Kevin Winston. He suffered a partial ACL tear in their week. I think it was late in week 1 against West Virginia last year. So those are the 3 notable ones but the notable ones that returned were, of course, you have Zane Durant, Danny Dennis Sutton. Both had very good playoff appearances last year during the playoff. Both played really well down the stretch in that Boise State game against Ashton Genty. And I know a lot of people like to say, well, Danny Dennis Sutton was playing opposite of Abdul Carter. Danny Dennis Sutton was playing pretty damn well when Abdul Carter got hurt. So I don't want to hear all that. Of course, A.J. Harris, the returning corner, really had his big breakout moment when, look, last year, Ohio State was the best team in college football. Call it what you want to say. They won the national title for a reason. You know how hard it is to hold Jeremiah Smith to under 50 receiving yards? Well, A.J. Harris did that. And not only do they have Rojas and DeLuca returning to play linebacker, they also added Amari Campbell from UNC. Now, the linebackers behind those 3, I'm not sure. The reserves have not, according to what Jim Knowles was saying earlier on during the summer, they weren't separating themselves as much, but as long as the health of Campbell, Rojas, and DeLuca are good, then they're going to be just fine. They have one of the better nickel defenders in Zion Tracy. Of course, we know he had the pick six against Will Howard at Penn State last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, in my opinion, this is the most well-rounded roster that James Franklin has had since being at Penn State. Because Drew Aller is easily the best quarterback talent he has gotten to come there. You want to say that Christian Hackenberg was a talented quarterback? Please go find me where. He was talented, but he knew how to throw the football. He had no idea how to be a quarterback, if that makes any type of sense.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Throwing the football is half of the game.
Power throwing a football is not being a quarterback. He had no idea how to be a quarterback. And then he somehow thought he was ready for the NFL and decided to go to and then got drafted by the Jets. That was the end of it, and we haven't heard from him since. And look, they've had talented teams. Like, those teams were pretty talented. They had Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Deshaun Hamilton. They had Zettel and Johnson on the defensive line. They had Marcus Allen at safety, who is still one of my favorite Penn State players of all time. Chris Godwin was entering toward the end of his Penn State tenure there. But the offensive line back then was putrid. And then when the offensive line started to get better, the defensive talent, like you had your big guys, or you had a Micah Parsons here and there, but you didn't have the collective group of guys like you do now. And they have, for some reason, Penn State has struggled to get wide receivers in here for the longest time. For a team that was so good at it for all those years, oh my God, was last year hard to watch. That is the single reason they lost to Notre Dame. They have not completed a pass. Somebody brought this up on Twitter. Penn State has not completed a pass to a wide receiver since the third quarter of the Boise State playoff game. That was the last completion to a Penn State wide receiver.
Yikes.
And it was the freaking Trey Wallace, who I thought the kid has talent. I'm glad he's off somewhere where he's going to get to hopefully showcase it. He was not good last year. Julian Fleming was not good last year. Omari Evans had some big plays, but was not consistent. If it was not Tyler Warren or that run game last year, Penn State's offense had no clue how to do anything, which was a shame because they had one of the more talented quarterbacks in the country. They have one of the more experienced now offensive lines because the entire offensive line decided to come back. So, here we go. Here we go. I'll get to his comment in a minute. Here, you know what? So he knows that I'm thinking of him here. He can do. He can feel special for himself for a second.
What's up, Anthony? What's up, Bruiser?
Yes, guys. What's going on? So Anthony's asking, is it better than 2019? In my opinion, yes. 2019 was good, but again, it wasn't as well rounded as this roster. There's the only weakness you can still say that this team has is wide receiver, only because we haven't seen these guys play at Penn State yet. I haven't seen Trevor Pena play with Drew Aller yet. I haven't seen Devontae Ross play with Drew Aller yet. I haven't seen Kyron Hudson yet. So until you see it on the field, you don't know if it's fixed. Because they got through last year by Keandre Lambert-Smith hitting the portal and going to Auburn. So that's what screwed them then. But no, 2019 Penn State team was good. It just, I'm pretty sure that was Sean Clifford was still their starter. So
definitely Sean Clifford. He played for a whole decade there, so it's not too hard to, go back a few years and be like, oh yeah, it was Sean Clifford there.
Please stop. Why are you doing that?
I know you love Sean Clifford, Sam.
I can't stand Sean Clifford. Bruiser said, when Texas blows out OSU on Saturday, I will expect a thank you for making the Big Ten easier.
Bruiser, I fully expect that to happen, and I don't think OSU has a chance. of having much competition in the Big Ten this year. A team
I
to
mean, the
watch
biggest,
out for is Michigan.
and even Michigan, I still think is a little bit away.
Yeah, because you got a true freshman coming in. You know, how's he going to handle the pressure? College football, always a big question.
Yeah, I think that I'd say that's fair, but no, in terms of, I just don't. Penn State's got one problem still, and it's going to go down to, can my head coach win a big damn game? That's where it's going to come down to still. He is still going to have that over his head. I don't want to hear about the playoff last year. Okay, SMU was not on the talent level of Penn State.
No, they weren't.
Neither was Boise State. They just had the best player in the. They had probably one of the top best players in the country.
Yeah, that's accurate.
So, all right, so Bruiser thinks, he legitimately thinks that OSU is the third best team in the Big Ten. So he would put them, who's over them, Bruiser? Well, I'm assuming Penn State.
I'd hope so. I'm trying to think of the other one. Who's he thinking?
What do you have?
Not
what do you have?
Maybe Oregon lost a lot. But they do recruit well,
yeah, but
so
they
I
didn't
don't
lose
know.
as much as Ohio State did.
Yeah.
They haven't lost nearly the amount that Ohio State has. I mean, Ohio State lost Will Howard, Jack Sawyer, freaking, Emeka Ibuka, Donovan Jackson, Josh Simmons. What's that?
Both of their running backs?
Both their running backs. Denzel Burke, who was a 4-year starter at corner. All right, we were right. Bruiser did. He has Oregon and Penn State over them. And they've lost Chip Kelly. So that's another thing we have to take into consideration here. Because regardless of our Eagles fandom opinions on Chip Kelly actually did a pretty good job for Ohio State last year. So
He did.
They're losing a lot. So, like I said, I get the reigning champ love. I get why they're at 3. I don't know if I expect them to stay there long.
Yeah. I don't expect them to stay there long either.
Well,
but here's how it's going to play out after week 1, right? Even if they get the doors blown off by Texas, they'll probably only get dropped to like 8th. Because that's just how the AP top 25 works.
They'll be lucky if that even happens.
They'll still be weighing in that championship, and it's like, all right, it was cool during the preseason, whatever. But yeah, if you lose week 1 and you get blown out, it's time to reevaluate.
So, James Franklin had his press conference today. So there were some key moments here that I wanted to point out here that I saved him on the Twitter feed. And the first thing he said that early on that Devontae Ross, who was the one transfer wide receiver from Troy, who had a really good year for Troy last year. And Bruiser, I think that's fair. I think that's right around where Ohio State should end up.
Yeah.
So the first thing that he said that kind of annoyed me, I kind of understand it, but it really annoys me, is that Franklin said that Devontae Ross and Liam Clifford will both rotate. Mentions that Ross missed some time early in the summer and was banged up. He's ready for the opener, but he was banged up and missed some time. So early on in the summer, so him and Ross and Liam Clifford will rotate. That drives me nuts because I can't stand Liam Clifford. I'm kind of upset he didn't hit the transfer portal as well.
Watch, he'll end up being the star this year, and you'll be like, oh, sorry.
Yeah. I mean, look, if he's like your wide receiver, if he's like your 4th best wide receiver, I'm cool. As long as these other 3 play to their capabilities, I'm cool here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So we finally got some clarification on the second starting safety position. Now, as we know, Zakee Wheatley was going to be a starter. He is the one that filled in most of last year for Kevin Winston after he got hurt. So we've been waiting for kind of the definitive answer that who's playing next to him. And it's actually going to be freshman Antoine Belgrave Shorter. Yeah, say that name 3 times fast.
I can't even say it once.
He can't even say it once.
Sam, you can't hide.
Okay. Bruiser, it's on camera.
Get your recording started, Bruiser.
Next week, why don't you come on with us after Texas beats Ohio State? Okay?
Ooh. So wait, are you saying if they get upset by Ohio State?
No, I'm predicting it's going to happen. Either way, he can come on and talk. He can come on and talk about it next week.
I'm gonna say that's pretty harsh.
Now we start the NFL talk, he'll leave, but that's okay. That's okay. I will let him on the show, so he could talk about hopefully what will be Texas's Week 1 win, which I'm pretty sure it's going to be. But now, so the other little thing that he said about the wide receivers were 6 of them will play for most of the year for Penn State. No specific order. Kyron Hudson, Trevor Pena, Liam Clifford, Kysir Denmark, who is somebody they really like, Kobe Howard, and Devontae Ross. So I really don't. Unbelievable. All right, and Anthony said, have you noticed Penn State has been number 3 in the Big Ten yeah, because they usually are. It's usually between Ohio State, Michigan, and Penn State, and now it's between Ohio State, Oregon, and Penn State. But yeah, so from what it sounds like, these are the top 6 for the wide receiver room. It'll be Hudson, Pena, Clifford, Denmark, Howard, and Ross. But all 3 of the new guys have basically secured a starting job.
Okay.
Because it's just been, you weren't going off of much last year to begin with, so.
Yeah.
So now, in terms of their specialists this year, the kick returners will be Nick Singleton and King Mack. Mack, of course, was the safety that was at Penn State in 2023, transferred to Alabama, and that was since transferred back to Penn State. And the punt returner will be rotated between Zion Tracy, Trevor Pena, and Devontae Ross. So that'll be the interesting part there, see who separates themselves there.
Okay.
Just try to see real quick if I missed anything. Now, the one thing that was interesting when they announced that the kid Belgrave Shorter that was going to start next to Wheatley was a lot of people thought that DeJuan Lane was going to be the starter. But Franklin did say that both Lane and King Mack will also be playing a lot of snaps this year. So it kind of sounds like the kid is going to start and they're going to just kind of go with who looks the best. But, I mean, look, if Jim Knowles wants the kid starting, then who am I to disagree with him?
Very true.
Who are we to disagree with what we see from Jim Knowles, who is easily the best defensive coordinator in college football?
How dare you question Vic Fangio's decisions?
Wrong league, bud.
Nope. Foreshadowing.
But I mean, I have one other thing I wanted to bring up on here. Let me go find it real fast. I mean, if you look at the amount of, like you said earlier, with Penn State, with the amount of talent that is returning this year, I mean, offensively, you have Aller, Singleton, Katron Allen. You bring in Kyron Hudson. You freaking wait, was that the same list I was on? Nope, wrong list. I mean, it was the right list, but not the full list. I mean, then you have Devontae Ross. Then you have Trevor Pena. The tight end position is where it's going to get interesting. Now, one does not just replace Tyler Warren. You do not replace Tyler Warren with one guy. But Khalil Dinkins and Luke Reynolds are most likely going to be splitting the reps. Probably a lot of two, especially with Andy Cole and Nicky, probably a bunch of two tight end sets. They said there are some sets. They've got some sets this year that will include 6 or 7 offensive linemen on the field.
Really? Wow.
They've got sets.
Really running the football.
They got sets, they said, that could include a wildcat with 2 running backs. If you thought Andy Kolenicki's offense last year was good with limited talent at the wide receiver position, just if Pena and Hudson are good, or Ross and Pena, or Ross and Hudson, take your pick. I don't care. If 2 of those guys play well throughout the season, it opens up a completely new offense for Penn State. Because, once again, they literally lost last year because now look, I understand it. Drew Aller was against Notre Dame was not good. He made mistakes. He made a bad interception. James Franklin was not great late in that game as well. Tom Allen's defense played well, but I thought still played a little too soft down the stretch. This is why they brought Jim Knowles over. But the one thing I will defend Drew Aller, it was a lot easier last year to defend against Drew Aller in Penn State because you only had 2 to 3 legitimate players on offense. And if you took away Tyler Warren, your whole passing game was over. Because there's a reason that after Kyron Hudson, just remember this. This is before Trevor Pena. Pena came over in the spring portal window. Hudson and Ross committed here in the winter. And before Pena even got here, Wallace and Omari Evans had already transferred out of the program. Julian Fleming graduated, and now all that's left is Liam Clifford, which, again, if he's your wide receiver 4, 5, fine. Who cares? As long as 2 of those guys can play better than what they got last year out of Fleming, Wallace, and Evans, then you're good. We're fine. That is what Penn State needs the most this year. They need capable wide receiver play. They don't got to be 2019 LSU, okay? No one's ever going to bring back those days of Jamar Chase and freaking Justin Jefferson. You don't got to be those guys, but you got to be better than what you had last year. And that's why people are like, oh, well, is Hudson much of an upgrade? Is Ross an upgrade? Is it worse than what you had last year? Because those wide receivers last year, I thought I was watching 2020 Eagles stuff.
Oh, gosh.
I wish somebody on that Penn State team would have had a Travis Fulgham month.
Month. Full goat?
Yeah.
Where you turned into full goat and then went back to full unemployed?
People were making shirts for Travis Fulgham. Just remember that.
I was all aboard the Travis Fulgham train.
I was until I saw the shirts being made. Then we got a little ridiculous.
Then he jumped off the train.
He jumped off his own train.
Yep.
And then, of course, on the offensive line, we have Drew Shelton, Biega Lone, Nick Dawkins, Cooper Cousins, Nolan Rucci coming back. The whole line came back, which is so big for this team.
They got probably at least like 2 guys that will end up getting drafted.
Oh, no. Oh, the whole starting 5 could get drafted. There are 7 to 8 guys on this roster that could start. They also added in the transfer portal T.J. Shanahan, who was a 2-year starter at A&M.
Oh.
And he's probably their 6th guy off the bench.
Well, damn.
Penn State went from a school that could barely, because that's what killed them when all that stuff happened in 2011, when they were really low on scholarships and all that kind of stuff. They really struggled to field a capable offensive line for anybody. Saquon Barkley had a very, very rough go at it.
That's why he transitioned to New York well.
Pretty true. But that is what killed Penn State for years. So now this is probably the best offensive line in the country in terms of experience. They're all been here for a while.
And that's just the key trait for this whole team. The offense and defense is a lot of experience, a lot of veterans.
Hey, Anthony, here, let me make you happy. Alec Boehm just singled in 2 runs.
Oh.
Phillies lead the Mets 3-0, top of the third. So there's one for you.
So now he just needs Stott?
Bryson Stott. And Bryson Stott bat like .330 since the All-Star break.
Oh. And they got to win some money.
Hopefully. And now let me just go back to... Now, that was the projected starters on offense, which that's accurate. Everything I said, like Pena's going to be in the slot, Ross and Hudson will play on the outside. Then, of course, you have the best. I still think it's the best backfield in the country. You want to give me a team? Like, don't get me wrong. Ashton Genty last year was the best running back in the country, but the best backfield is the team that has 2 guys that will run you over, and they complement each other so well. Like, I mean, Nicholas Singleton's just that home run hitter. He gets through that first hold, he could be going to the house. And then you have Adrian Allen, too.
Of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Now, on the defensive side, here is what the projected starting defense was looking like. Now, there is a little bit of difference in some of these. Of course, you have Danny Dennis Sutton. Of course, you have Zariah Fisher, Zane Durant, Alonzo Ford, Tony Rojas, Amari Campbell, who was the kid who transferred over from North Carolina, had a really good year for UNC last year. Elliott Washington is projected to start opposite of A.J. Harris, Zakee Wheatley. Of course, this has DeJuan Lane as a starter. We already know the other kid's going to play a lot of time as well, as will King Mack. And in the nickel is Dom DeLuca / Zion Tracy. Now, the reason that it's like that is because when Knowles will have his base package, you'll see Rojas, DeLuca, and Campbell all together. But when they go into nickel and there's only 2 linebackers on the field, you'll see Rojas, Campbell, and then Zion Tracy will be on the field. So, a bunch of different things that Jim Knowles can do there. The only thing that Jim Knowles has had an issue with so far is that, like I said, his reserve linebackers have not really, no one's really taken a leap that they thought. The starters are fine. DeLuca's really good. It will be fine. When Rojas is healthy, he's a really good linebacker. And Campbell, he was already a good linebacker at UNC. I'm excited to see what he brings now that he is here in a place that develops pretty damn good linebackers.
They do.
And he was an off-ball linebacker. He still had last year. I think he had like 4.5 sacks. So he can get to the quarterback. I'm not saying he is him, but I'm kind of thinking of the way Alabama used Jahad Campbell last year is what I could see with Amari Campbell. No, I'm not trying to say the Eagles are going to have the Campbells going crazy in a couple years. I'm just trying to I'm literally, that's what Amari Campbell reminds me of. But no, that's basically all the main things about Penn State going into this season. I think this team is good. I think, like I said, were there Penn State teams with more talent? Sure. Chris Godwin, Saquon Barkley, Miles Sanders, Micah Parsons. What's that?
But then the quarterback.
Exactly. And then you think back to Saquon Barkley, the offensive lines. I think, personally, this is the most well-rounded team James Franklin has had since being at Penn State.
Oh, yeah.
Easily has two of the best running backs in the country, a whole revamped wide receiver room, in my opinion, the best offensive line in the country. He has two of the better assistant coaches in the country. That's got plenty of NFL talent on that defense still. I think Harris, Sutton, Durant. I think Rojas and Campbell can make some noise there if they play well this year. There's plenty of talent on this Penn State team. Now, let's go back to that graphic that we had earlier. I think we talked about Penn State. We've been talking about Penn State for like a half hour now. Let's go back to this graphic, Tyler. What are our overall thoughts? I know we gave up some small thoughts a few weeks ago. What are we thinking about this right now?
So I'll tell you a few teams I think are going to fall off, and then we can talk about another interesting team. I
One
think,
team's already fallen. That's Kansas State.
yeah, um, I think Notre Dame. They're probably going to hover around maybe the early teens, depending on how they play. They might pick up where they left off. They could entirely do that and be in the top 10 for most of the season. Um, I definitely see Michigan moving up higher, probably towards like the 10 range, maybe around there, depending on how they play. Yeah, like you said, Kansas State. See ya. I think Boise State's gonna get bounced. Ole Miss should definitely have been a lot higher than 21. Ole Miss is a good program that usually puts together really competitive teams. So
Yeah.
I definitely see them. They'll be a team that I think will be in that bubble range of getting in the playoff with the expanded format. Because the expanded format is it how many is it? 12 teams?
Yeah.
12 teams. So I could see them being in that bubble area there. Um, Everyone else, I mean, I don't know how Tennessee is going to look.
I'm agreeing with, well, first of all, who's Tennessee's quarterback is the bigger question.
Yeah,
And I will agree with Anthony. I don't know how Arizona State's number 11.
I didn't agree with it.
I
Correct
think
me if I'm
Illinois should be
wrong. I
higher.
think I think you said it was okay that they were ranked 11th. I never liked that at all.
I think
One good
Illinois should.
year, and it was because of the play of Cam Scatterville.
Exactly.
We didn't have that many talented players on that team.
No, they
So
did
now that
not,
he's
actually.
gone, what are they going to do? They might, if they're lucky, be that team in like the 20 range and hope that they don't get bounced out of the top 25. But
Yeah.
even then, when you really think about it, teams are only going to care about who's in the top 12 because based off of how are they doing the the college format? Are they basing it off of the top 12 on the AP poll? I
They
feel like
didn't
it
do it last
changes.
year.
Yeah, I feel like it changes every year. But you're right, they didn't do it last year. They did it based off of conferences and this and that. It's
Yeah, no, they based off of teams that the
yeah,
seeding was off teams that won their conference. No one cares that
yeah.
Arizona State won their conference.
Like let's just keep it simple. It's based off the top 12 teams in the AP poll.
I got some breaking news real quick before we continue.
What you got?
The Browns are trading Kenny Pickett to the Raiders.
Oh man.
Well, Aiden O'Connell's going to be out for 2 months, so
Ugh. That's all right. Geno Smith for the win, anyways. He will lead them to a 500 record. Go Raiders.
I hope they find a way to keep Jacoby Myers because that team can actually make some noise now, I think,
They could.
offensively.
I liked what you said about him going to the Steelers, though. That's a possibility. They don't have a good person to go next to DK aside from tight ends. But that's for later in the show. A team that I think is going to make some noise would be LSU and Clemson. I think Clemson. I think that's a fair preseason ranking for them. I think we'll see them maybe at like the 3 spot, maybe the 4 spot, moving around throughout the season. LSU needs some more respect with having one of the more talented quarterbacks coming.
I went and looked. I went on ESPN's top 100 college football players. They have Nussmeier ranked number 4.
How do you have a quarterback ranked at 4 in the nation? but the team's ranked at 9. What kind of sense does that make?
Good question. I don't think LSU is getting nearly the enough amount of respect they should. I still think they're better than Alabama.
But
Oregon,
they'll be higher than Georgia.
Georgia's is the interesting one to me. They're kind of like just there. Like they're not. No one's really arguing that they're top 5.
They'll kind of be like they'll have a good team, but I don't think they're going to have strong quarterback play. So I think that's where it's going to hold them back.
I mean, you saw last year, right?
Yeah, that is true.
We saw how last year went, right? So, I mean, again, Georgia's going to have a good, probably, and once you get a solid defense. I mean, Gunnar Stockton's going to be their starting quarterback. So, I mean, he wasn't terrible when he came in last year. So, Anthony said that South Carolina needs to put. I think South Carolina is good. I think South Carolina has a chance to jump into that top 10 range.
I hope they do. I feel like they've been a program that's been struggling for a few years to really get back their dominance.
Yeah, and I think here's where I'm at, right? Like, if I could take 3 teams out of the top 11, because I hate Arizona State.
Arizona State, get them out of here.
If I could replace 3 teams in the top 11 with teams from 12 on, I'll take out the Sun Devils, Miami, and Alabama, and I'll give me Illinois, South Carolina. Give me. I'm excited to see Michigan this year. Well, I'm excited to see what the Wolverines do, because here's the other thing. When you think of Michigan, listen to this real quick. Under Sherrone Moore, they landed Bryce Underwood. They landed the number 1 running back in Tavion Hitter. They landed Andrew Babaloa, who is the number 2 overall offensive tackle prospect, and they landed Carter Meadows, who's a 5-star edge rusher. Oh, wow. Sherrone Moore's doing his fair share of recruiting. Let's get this. All right, let's get this graphic off our screen now, so we can get back to this. So Sherrone Moore's been doing his fair share of recruiting over there in Michigan.
Yeah, trust me, they knew it was going to be a tough little transition period, but they definitely they made it work. They didn't let it get to them. They didn't have a terrible year last year; it just wasn't good enough.
No, they didn't have a quarterback.
Yeah.
And now they have Bryce Underwood, who I'm so happy got the starting job. And they didn't overthink it. They just went out, said, look, you're the starter. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah. The offer.
I will definitely
come play for him.
I will definitely be making my way to be watching that game. Oh, my God. More trades? Jesus Christmas. The Vikings are sending defensive back Mekhi Blackman to the Colts for a 6th-round pick. Okay. God, roster cutdown week is so fun.
Where is Justin Simmons?
Tyler, you're not getting Justin Simmons to this club.
Why not? Who's he going to sign with?
Nobody.
Nobody?
No.
Dude can still play.
Yeah, dude wants like $12 million a year.
Well, guess what? When it gets to September 1st and that phone hasn't been ringing, his agent's going to start reaching out to some teams. Be like, all right.
Should have been doing that since July.
He should have, because now it's going to be tough for him to get in a starting lineup with limited practice with the team.
Fair point.
Honestly, do you see them, if they were to sign Simmons, him being slotted in as the starting safety next to Reed by week 1?
I don't think it's much of a competition.
Yeah, but knowing Fangio, he'll probably want to get him up to speed first.
Yeah, well, I mean, it would help him that he already knows Fangio's system, so.
True.
All right, Tyler. Let's go through some other things that we're preparing for the college football season with. What do we think about Heisman this year?
Oh man, that's tough. Because could we see a wide receiver win it? Since Smitty did.
Being Jeremiah Smith or thinking Ryan Williams?
Ryan Williams, either or. I think they'll both be in the running. I don't know who would be a finalist.
Could we see a running back? Jeremiah Love?
Possibly.
He's like top 5 in the top 100 college.
Easy ones are going to be, say, quarterback, right? Like Cade Klubnik, Drew Aller, Arch Manning. Oh, man.
He's mad because Stock just got walked.
Oh, no.
But no, I mean, yeah. Look, it's easy to say the quarterback position. You know, like you said, Drew Aller, Cade Klubnik, Garrett Nussmeier, Arch Manning. I think Jeremiah Smith has a very good shot at winning it this year, personally.
I think he does, too.
Ryan Williams, I don't know, because he had a really strong start last year. He was the college sensation. He was a 17-year-old kid that just came out of nowhere and was just balling at Alabama. Kind of teetered off toward the end of the season, so.
Yeah. What about the kid from Michigan, Bryce Underwood?
As a freshman?
I don't know, man. If he's that good.
Mikey, what's up, buddy? You're just in time, man. We're talking a bunch of football tonight.
What's up, Mike? Yeah, I mean, hey, dude, if he's that good. All I heard is like he's like the next big thing.
Could be.
But my honest opinion, it's going to be a quarterback.
I think it's my favorite. Maybe I don't know. I may go with Nussmeier.
Ooh, Nussmeier, really? I mean, it's not a bad bet. Honestly, I really only see it 4 ways.
Okay.
There's only four quarterbacks that are like it's their year to shine. It's the ones we keep talking about.
Klubnik,
Meyer, Manning, and Aller. I think it's just going to be a race between them. Because, that would be interesting.
Nussmeier and Arch for the championship? Oh, my God. Now, George, see, the joke's going to be on you now that they've traded Kenny Pickett, and they're going to sign Darian Thompson-Robinson back to the practice squad. That's where the fun's going to begin. You're going to bring DTR back onto the practice squad. That's where I'm going to laugh.
Ooh.
And if that happens, please don't tell Adam where I live. Just saying. You need a practice squad quarterback.
He's the perfect fit.
He's the perfect fit. Yeah, fuck it. Anyway, let me ask you, we're talking about him. What are your expectations for Arch Manning this year?
My expectations, I mean, I loved what I saw out of him when he had to come in last year. Right? I saw the big playability that they were desperately lacking. So I think, him having more time to develop, settle in a little bit more. I think coming into this year, I mean, he might be the best quarterback in the nation.
I think he could be. The one thing I don't want to go off of Arch is I don't want to go off the name. And that's the problem that we have.
I think that he's done. I think him and Texas have done a solid job of that because
Yeah.
you heard all the hype back when he was still in high school and committed to Texas.
For, for now.
Oh, Georgie, you're gonna have a lot of
For
people.
now, George. For now.
This is a practice squad quarterback.
Well, he played like one in the preseason.
He did. He did.
Maybe he can go out and get knocked out like by his brother.
Oh gosh. But the only thing that would worry me is the supporting cast around Arch. I mean, they lost their top two wide receivers. Obviously, University of Texas, they're always going to have wide receiver talent coming through the doors. But as far as I'm aware, they don't have any guys who are proven heading into this year. But that's the good thing about having a quarterback that's talented like him. He's going to make guys look better. I think another guy who's going to do that is Drew Aller. They're going to be the ones. That's why I think they both have a good chance of being Heisman candidates, because they're going to have to be the ones that make their offense shine.
Yeah. Like last year, Penn State's offense did not shine because of Drew Aller. Now, and that's not Drew's fault, but Drew is, what did we say? We went to the Bowling Green game. We've talked about Drew Aller. Drew Aller wants to be the playmaker.
Yep.
Drew Aller cannot be the playmaker when his wide receivers don't do diddly squat for him.
Mm-hmm.
And I think with the additions that they have made at wide receiver, it's a more balanced offense. You add the tight end duo of Reynolds and Dinkins. You have that run game. You have that O-line. There's no excuse for Drew Aller not to be in the Heisman conversation this year. The same thing goes for these other guys. Nussmeier at LSU, they have a good team. I think this may be the best Clemson teams we've seen since Trevor Lawrence left.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to remember the DJ Ugalele days.
Oh, no, not Ugalele.
If I pronounced his name right, I hope I did. But with Kay Klubnik, I think he's got a really good chance. And, of course, we have Arch. And then, of course, we got to think about, I mean, look, DJ Legway, I mean, he's not. He's another quarterback in Florida. Like, okay, maybe he has a shot. Probably not. But, yeah, exactly. But outside of the quarterbacks, the top two guys who I think could steal the Heisman that aren't quarterbacks could be Jeremiah Love, as long as he stays healthy. I know he had a little bit of a knee problem at Notre Dame last year, so hopefully he's 100%. And, of course, the guy who could easily win it since Devontae Smith is Jeremiah Smith.
Yep.
Well, George, as of right now, he's not in the league since the Eagles just released him, thank God. Mikey, we're starting off the season. I mean, week 0 was on this past weekend, but we ain't count all that.
Nah.
We're kicking off big noon this year with Ohio State versus Texas. And then to end our Saturday night, we got LSU versus Clemson. And then on Sunday, we've got Notre Dame and Miami. Yeah, Mike, the Gators are going to be tough. Weren't the Gators in that AP Top 25?
They were. 15.
Yeah, they're 15.
Mm-hmm.
Not bad.
Yeah, not bad at all.
Yeah, so see, like, there's going to be other guys, but I think it's safe to say that's what the Heisman race is looking at. You're looking at Arch, you're looking at Nussmeier, you're looking at Klubnik, you're looking at Aller, and then I'm looking at Jeremiah Love and Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, yeah.
Those are my guys that are favorites for my Heisman this year. All right, Tyler, I got some other good ones. We got any coaches that we're looking at that could be I don't know if they're on the hot seat. Maybe the seat's just a little lukewarm. Maybe the seat's completely on fire.
Well, seat being on fire, I'd have to look directly at Alabama. Last year was rough. They dropped a lot of games to schools that were supposed to be a walk in the park.
Vanderbilt.
Yeah. When the moment you can't beat and finish the teams that you put on the schedule to pat your record, there is a major problem. So it wasn't a great start to the post Nick Saban era. Not at all. And that is due in part to more competition in college football with all the NIL money. Not to say that they don't have stars that still want to go play there. Alabama's still a top school that players want to go to. But, you're not going to get many chances to underperform and especially miss. I get it. It was an 8-team playoff. And we're used to seeing Alabama in every single 4-team playoff. So, to miss out with the 8-game format, it was kind of like, okay.
No, remember, 12. Not 8, 12.
Well, no, last year. Wasn't it 8 still?
No, 12.
It was 12 last year?
Pretty sure.
I don't know where I was.
Wasn't
it? It probably was.
Either way, but no, you're right. The fact that, now look, don't get me wrong, when Saban was there, it was a totally different story. But the fact that Nick Saban was dominating the SEC and a 4-team playoff, oh, George, yes, and that next man up is going to be LSU, in my opinion. Because I think LSU is better than Alabama, and I think if the quarterback play, I think they're going to be better than Georgia. Just as I got to see Georgia's defense before I make that assumption. Because Georgia can get a top 5 seed based off of that ridiculous defense they always have. So that's why I haven't completely knocked Georgia out yet. I thought when Gunnar Stockton came in last year when Carson Beck got hurt, I thought Stockton actually played well. Now that he's had a whole summer to kind of like learn the offense, get the starting reps, maybe he'll be better.
Yeah, he was their next guy up.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe now that he's had a summer to prepare as the number 1, we'll see what happens. I still think LSU could be better than both Alabama and Georgia. I don't see it. I mean, outside of Ryan Williams, they say Bama of the old age. And like I said, the fact that Kalen DeBoer got to a national title with Washington, but he couldn't even get into the 12-team playoff bracket with Alabama that had talent, that had Ryan Williams, that had Jahad Campbell, that had Malachi Moore, that had Jalen Milroe. They had all this talent still last year, and the fact that they weren't able to put a freaking chance together to get into the playoff, and you're losing to teams like Vanderbilt, like, come on.
Yeah, it's a bad look.
Anthony said Georgia's 40-year-old men playing college football. So it's a minor league NFL team, essentially, is what you're saying. But no, I think DeBoer should have. I don't think the seat is hot yet because it's only 1 year. Guys get years. I don't think it's like burning. I think the seat's a little warm, and I think it's going to get a lot hotter if they don't make it this year.
Yeah, they're not going to have many chances.
Mike.
Oh yeah, Mike.
I got a good one for you.
I would say it, but I don't want to steal your thunder. I know what you're thinking.
I'm going out to Southern California.
Yep.
Lincoln Riley.
He's definitely
what's going on, babe?
He's definitely on the hotter seat, without a doubt.
I mean, so since we all know Lincoln Riley, had the great run. Had the great run there in Oklahoma for all them years. Had a solid, look what he did with Jalen Hurts. Look what he did in his first year at USC with Caleb Williams.
Yep.
But following his 11-3 season when he first got there. He's then going 8-5 and 7-6. So it's gotten worse every year since that 11-win season.
Yep.
And a storied program like USC, and you're supposed to be this. He's supposed to essentially Lincoln Riley is viewed as like Sean McVay in the NFL. So unless you produce, I don't know what's going to happen here.
Yeah, he's going to be gone. He's got to produce. I mean, like you said, a team like USC, they're used to being in the spotlight. Haven't heard much of them. Definitely going through a lot of growing pains. They're not really landing, I guess, the talent that they would like to.
It'll be interesting to see. So, oh, by the way, for any baseball fans, if you're looking for a third baseman, Alec Boehm is available because he sinks.
But he can hit.
Yeah, no, he can't. But yeah, so now, ironically, another guy that's on the hot seat could be freaking Brent Venables that took over for Lincoln Riley in Oklahoma. Over 3 seasons, just a 22-23 record with 2 6-7 seasons. So there's another one that could potentially be on the hot seat this year.
Yeah. Definitely college football is a lot of turnover. You know, these schools, they expect you to perform.
Then just like another one, you look at Hugh Freeze in Auburn, 11-14 record. He has a 5-11 mark so far in SEC play, and they've lost the Iron Bowl twice. So definitely some things that need to change in some of these programs. But I think the one that I will go with, like I said, it's not burning hot, but it will be getting warmer if the season doesn't go their way. It's Easy Kelton DeBoer, Alabama. I understand people are going to say it's only 2 years in. It doesn't matter. When you can't get in the playoff with a school like Alabama in a expanded format now, there's something wrong.
If they don't make the playoffs this year, I think there's a high chance he is gone. He might get voted out.
Oh, you missed the playoff. You missed the playoff 2 years in a row with Alabama. You shouldn't make it to the freaking. You shouldn't be allowed to have any type of exit meetings. You should be able to make it to the exit. So, and if honestly, in my opinion, this seat is hot, it's Lincoln Riley.
Yeah, he has the most to prove this year. And I mean, I'm trying to pull up a roster. I don't even know what he's working with. He might be screwed. Let's see. Let's get all the USC. There we go. Not used to USC being in the Big Ten.
I forgot they were in the Big Ten, I won't lie.
Yeah, I had trouble looking for the conference for a second there. Jaden Maiva, he's their starting quarterback, I believe. He's a junior. Running back, no one that I really know. There's one senior, a lot of freshmen. Receivers. All I'm gonna say is that they're gonna have to be playing some really good team football because I don't see anyone that stands out on a piece of paper for me.
It's gonna be It's gonna be. I think Lincoln Riley may be looking for a job soon.
He might because you're telling me that Lincoln Riley can attract big name players to USC.
They did say that this recruiting class was pretty solid. We'll have to see how it looked on the field, but
yeah,
Lincoln Riley can't have subpar seasons like this. I mean, you can't go from 11 wins to what you've had over the past 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Caleb was there 2 years ago. They were only 8-5.
Yeah.
Oh no, that can't happen. Now, look, you want to give me the little drop off because of Caleb leaving? Okay, but still, the fact that we'll have to see. So, for our last little bit of college football talk here, I mean, we've already been on the air for an hour and 6 minutes. And we still have a ton of other stuff to talk about. Any defensive players you'll be keeping your eye on this year?
Defensive players? I haven't done much scouting on them yet.
I got a few for you. I'll give us my little list of guys that I did some research on. First one I'm really looking forward to. This is kind of like one of this is not the stereotypical guy you're going to talk about, but coming off a year as a freshman, he had 21.5 tackles for loss and 12.5 sacks last year. He was not ranked last year, and he jumped all the way up to number 36 in ESPN's top 100 college players. Edge rusher from San Diego State, Trey White. 12.5 sacks as a freshman, that's damn impressive. So, another one of them smaller tools guys that you can look at. Maybe they come in, play really well. We'll have to see. My next one, of course, Danny Dennis Sutton from Penn State. Had a really strong year last year. 2 forced fumbles, 24 solo tackles, 8.5 sacks. And, of course, he was also not ranked last year. This year, he's number 26 on the big board. Coming in, another sophomore who had a very strong freshman season was edge rusher from South Carolina, Dylan Stewart, who I believe is going to be a very high draft pick in the coming years when it's his time. 17 solo tackles last year, 6.5 sacks, 3 forced fumbles for a South Carolina defense that was rather good last year. He was also not ranked last year at this time. He had jumped into this list at number 10 on their list.
Wow.
And then, of course, I got a couple big guys on the Clemson front. Of course, you have T.J. Parker, who last year, phenomenal year. 64 tackles, 19.5 tackles for loss, 11 sacks, 6 forced fumbles. He was ranked number 46 in the postseason ranking in 2024. So this year, he's up to number 6. Another one, of course, is the best safety in college football, in my opinion. That's Caleb Downs from Ohio State. He's coming off a year, national champion. 81 total tackles, 2 interceptions, 6 pass to defend it. Was 18th in the 2024 postseason ranking, and this year he has jumped up to number 3. Another one, of course, latecomer to the party is Penn State corner A.J. Harris. Of course, last year played very solid, 28 tackles, 1 interception, 5 passes defended. Came on later in the season as the true number 1 corner at Penn State. Of course, his notable game was the game against Ohio State. They held Jeremiah Smith to under 50 receiving yards. So those are some guys that I really want to keep a look at is our boys over at Penn State. Another one that I have is Anthony Hill Jr., linebacker from Texas. look, Texas is another team that had one of the better defenses in college football last year. They've lost some pieces, but last year, Anthony Hill had 59 solo tackles, 16 and a half tackles for loss, 8 sacks, and 4 forced fumbles. The 2024 postseason ranking, he was ranked 30th. This year, he's number 2.
Yeah, Texas always got some players. They still got defensive end, Colin Simmons.
Yep. He's another one that I have on my list here.
He's going to be the next big thing for them, too.
Yep, 31 solo tackles, 9 sacks, 3 forced fumbles. He wasn't ranked last year, and this year he's number 11.
Yeah, because he was a freshman. It's crazy. He's only a sophomore this year.
Yep. And another one that I have is, of course, another versatile defensive lineman from Clemson, and that's Peter Woods. Last year, 32 tackles, 8.5 tackles for loss, 3 sacks. So he's more of the interior type of guy. But he wasn't ranked last year, and he comes in this year at number 9 on their list.
All right.
And that is my list of college football defensive players that I am looking at this year. One on the highest one probably is Dylan Stewart from South Carolina. I'm really excited to see how he plays as a sophomore this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely an impressive freshman campaign.
The kid from San Diego State's even more, 12.5 sacks.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see these young boys play out.
Oh, yeah.
But all right, Tyler. 1 hour and 11 minutes of college football talk. We talked some Penn State. We've talked some Heisman. We talked some Ohio State a little bit. We talked Texas. We talked LSU. Let's get down to business now. NFL time.
Oh, yeah.
Guys, we are literally just 10 days away from NFL football returning to our lives. And, of course, as you guys know, we are continuing our theme of our NFL top 10 list to get us through these next couple weeks. So we have 2 top 10 lists left. And this week, we are giving you guys our top 10 running backs for the 2025 NFL season. Tyler, are you ready for this one?
I am ready.
Well, good, because I want to start this week.
No, I'm starting.
You
at number 10, I have Saquon Barkley.
Whoa, yeah, okay. Whoa.
Gotcha, bud.
You have started almost every list we've done.
Sam, there's a reason why. The reason may or may not be written on my screen.
Anthony has beef with the Chiefs and the NFL suspension rule. Is it because their wide receivers' hearing isn't until a month into the season?
Hey, you can play the first 4 weeks, and then we'll see where you stand.
Yeah, that was suspension.
Oh, you're only suspended for 1 game.
Mikey said Jags versus Eagles. Oh, God. Mikey, calm down.
Oh, no.
But all right, Tyler, are we ready to get this thing going?
We are more than ready to get this thing going.
All right. In real seriousness, who wants to start?
You can start.
All right. At my number 10, I'm going with a rookie. And I'm going at number 10, Ashton Jeanty.
Ashton Jeanty. Oh, my goodness. He did it.
I think Jeanty is going to be a transcendent player.
Damn right.
I think he could.
Chip Kelly be damned.
Exactly. There are some things that concern me in Vegas. The offensive line and Chip Kelly is both of them.
Well, hold on a minute, because let's not act like Boise State was the pinnacle of offensive lines.
That is true. But that's where I'm going at number 10. I think Jeanty can easily be one of the better running backs in the league year one. I think he's that transcendent.
Mm-hmm.
He did beat out some guys on my list that some are going to question.
Okay.
But that's where I have it.
No
Anthony said the Chiefs' first games are the big money games. NFL seeing money, not punishment. Pretty much, Anthony.
Very true. NFL thinks they're slick. They really do.
Yep, I have
made sure they suspended Jordan Addison real quick, though.
Oh yeah, can't have them. I can't have the Vikings getting to having some fun now.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
But yes, I have Ashton Genty as my number 10 running
But
back.
speaking of the Vikings, at number 10, I have Aaron Jones Sr. coming in. I
Just
mean,
missed my cut.
last year he had a very good year in his first year with the Vikings. I think heading into this year with with the play of JJ McCarthy being the starting quarterback now, they may not want to rely on him throwing the ball like over 30 times a game. They may look to run the ball more with Aaron Jones. They also have one of the top 5 offensive lines now after they made some moves in the offseason. So I think Aaron Jones takes what he did last year, builds on top of that, and I think we can see a very productive year out of him again.
Don't hate it. Jones just missed my cut because, I mean, gets a little dinged up here and there. I do like the thought process with the Vikings. They also added Mason to their backfield, so I think they're going to try to spend him a little bit this year. So no, I'm not saying no.
I know. I did take that into consideration. They did bring in Mason, but I kind of view it as like how Aaron Jones had AJ Dillon behind him, and Aaron Jones was still the clear cut.
Oh no, yeah, no, I'm not saying it's going to hurt his production.
But it kept him healthier,
exactly, it's going to keep him fresh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Coming in at my number 9 running back, I have Kyren Williams.
Ooh, okay.
Now, Kyren Williams, to me, easily, I mean, I think he accounted for, 43% of the Rams' touches last year?
Yeah, he ran a lot.
And now this is with Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Now, I'm sure some of that usage is going to go down. I'm sure when everybody is healthy, the Rams are going to pass the ball a little bit more this year, since they signed this guy named Davante Adams.
Yeah.
And you're going to pair that with Puka Nacua. But to keep that offense, kind of stable, you got to have a good run game. And I think Kyren Williams is easily still going to be one of the better running backs in the league. He is a little lower on my list because of the fact that I think the touches will go down a little bit because of the additions of Davante Adams. Not to mention, I love Kyren Williams, and the reason he's a little lower on my list, he does have a little bit of a ball security problem.
I mean, yeah, he had 3 fumbles, but there's a couple of guys that are on my list that had 3 fumbles.
Here, can I just give a spoiler alert? There is a certain San Francisco running back. He is not on my list.
Oh, he's not on your list?
I can't. Well,
that brings me into number 9 because I have Christian McCaffrey. Now, say before you blow a gasket, all right? Hear me out, right? We know how Christian McCaffrey works. It's 1 year he plays, 1 year he doesn't play.
Yep, that's fine.
Now I get he didn't play at all last year. These top 10 rankings that we do before the season starts aren't all based off of the previous year.
Well, clearly I have a rookie at number 10.
Exactly. And I have a rookie higher than number 10. Foreshadowing.
Right then.
But Christian McCaffrey, when he is healthy, I'm going to start with that. There is no doubt.
You got to put a big capitalized when.
2 asterisks. When he is healthy, he is easily top 3 running back in the league because of his dual threat capabilities. And the fact that, the Kyle Shanahan system is an amazing running back friendly system. So, with him finally getting a bunch of rest heading into this season, Lord knows he missed a bunch of time. I know that the best. If he can't stay healthy, especially with them bringing in Brian Robinson and still having the kid from last year, Guerendo, if they can't keep him healthy to get those big burst dominant plays and not rely on him as an every down back, then Christian McCaffrey's career is probably done.
It still doesn't get old. The episode we did last year, and you found out live on the air that he was being placed on injury reserve.
Yep. I had to. I didn't have I didn't have a choice. I contemplated it the whole day. I was like, do I bench him? Do I play him? He was supposed to play. And then the report, and then I'll never forget the reporting. I remember, like, I just read it 10 minutes ago. Shanahan said if this was the playoffs, he would have played. We just held him out as a precaution. 10 weeks later,
Yeah, I'm about to say 10 weeks later,
he tries to come back and play. All right, guys, yeah, he's out for the season. Nice seeing you, Christian McCaffrey. But I think this year, Christian McCaffrey has a chance to be probably top 5. There's a lot of competition now in the NFL in the running back room, but I'd say top 5 if he's healthy.
all right? So now we're on to number 8. My number 8 running back for this year is a second-year player. And at number 8, I have, from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Bucky Irving. Bucky Irving took the league a little bit by storm last year. Not only did he have 47, now he only started 3 games. Rachaad White was also one of their main starters.
Yeah.
But last year, Bucky Irving tallied 47 catches for almost 400 yards on 52 targets. So out of 52 targets, he caught 47 footballs. Not to mention, he ran for 1,122 yards, which is 5.4 yards a carry, and had 8 touchdowns. And really helped solidify the Buccaneers to have more of a balanced offense. I mean, they've been really pass-heavy. I mean, they were still pass-heavy last year.
Yeah.
But they were really pass-heavy for a while, and Bucky Irving really, really helped them solidify that. And I think he's going to be primed this year. I think also, with the help of Tristan Wirfs, it's easier for a backup offensive lineman to run block than pass protect. So I think they're going to lean heavier on Bucky Irving early on in the season. So I think Bucky Irving is going to be a top 10 running back this year.
I agree, but I also have to say that he just missed my I was battling between him and Aaron Jones. I loved what Bucky Irving did last year as a rookie. No one was expecting it. His contributions to the receiving game as well, with almost 400 receiving yards, on top of him rushing for over 1,100. He's definitely primed for a big year this year.
Not to mention, he's not even their receiving back. That's Rachaad White.
Yeah, and he still found a way to pile it up. So I like him being on your top 10. Congratulations, Sam. You get props. For once. There you go. If I left McCaffrey off the list, I probably would have slotted him in there at number 9. But I had to put McCaffrey on the list. I couldn't leave him off. We haven't heard anything about an injury, so he's going to be playing week 1. So let's see if we get Christian McCaffrey back.
Unless he stubs his toe. I'm just here for the people.
Maybe he tripped over a gallon of milk.
Anywho.
So where are we at here? Am I on my number 8?
I guess you are.
I guess I am. My number 8. You pretty much said it all before. Kyren Williams.
Right.
Your number 9. My number 8. I think he's one of those backs that gets better with time. He had the best year of his career last year. He contributed in multiple facets of the game. I think this year, hopefully with a fully healthy Puka Nacua that doesn't miss time, having Devontae Adams, I think it's really going to help take some of the pressure off of him and maybe allow him to be that home run hitter, the big playmaker, rather than, carry the ball 316 times for us. And hopefully, we see his yard per carry average go up a little bit this year. But I do like the prospect behind him. The Rams, I feel like they tried to strengthen their O-line a little bit more. They're not the best in the league, but decent enough.
They'll be worse. They could be the 49ers.
Yeah. Old man.
That's another reason why CMC was off my list, because that Niners O-line scares me.
Yeah, that's a tough one.
Brian, what's up, buddy?
What's going on?
All right, so we down to number 7.
Yes, we are.
My number 7 running back, I have Jonathan Taylor.
Too low.
Yes, you can make the case, but the reason I have him very low is Jonathan Taylor sometimes has some durability issues. I also can't stand the Colts. That offensive line has gotten very weak this offseason, and the quarterback play has probably gotten just as worse. Taylor coming off a really good year, 300 rushes, 1,400 yards, 11 touchdowns. Still a very, very good year.
1,400 yards in 14 games.
Yeah.
Imagine if he was healthy for the whole 17.
And that's the problem.
I know that's the problem. But just imagine. Just think he's never had an injury in his career. Just imagine what that could have been.
He's probably top 3.
That could have been like 1,800 yards.
He's probably top 3 on my list if he's always healthy. But I have him at number 7, and I think it's fair.
All right. Fair enough. My number 7, I have Mr. Boise State himself, Ashton Jeanty. This man is just a wrecking ball. I think his closest comparison is probably Derrick Henry of running the football to just knock you out. He's going to produce, even on the Raiders. He's going to produce. The Raiders actually have a lot of solid pieces in place this year. Like, they should have a decent season. I don't expect them to go out and win their division. I don't think they're ready for that. I don't see them getting past the Broncos, let alone the Chiefs. But I think they'll have an above 500 record. They'll have a good enough year for the Raiders. And Ashton Jeanty, my expectations for him, honestly, rookie year, 1,300 yards as a floor.
No issues with that. I think that's easily realistic.
Carry 5 or more.
I don't have any issues with that. I could see that as a very realistic stat for Ashton Jeanty. So, all right, moving into our top 6. And my number 6, I'm going with Josh Jacobs.
Damn you, Sam. Are we starting already? Are we seriously starting already at number 6?
Oh, no, because my number 5 is going to throw you in for a loop.
Is it, though?
Maybe. I hope it does.
Because there's 5 more players on this list. And I feel like at least 4 of them have to be on yours.
No, David Montgomery is not in my top 10.
It better be the other one.
Just missed the cut.
Yeah, I will smack you through the camera if you miss the cut.
Zolt would smack me through the camera.
But anyway.
But no, I mean, you look with Josh Jacobs had a very solid career with the Raiders. And if you look at oh my dear God. If you look at what he was able to do for that Packers offense, when they start to figure out that, hey, having Jordan Love throw the ball 40 times a game is going to not do so well. Mm-hmm. They adapted to Jacobs being into that system. They got him into a run-first system. He rushed for 1,300 yards last year, 15 freaking touchdowns.
Yeah.
He helped transform that Packers offense. Now, and that's why he's a little...
Are we going to talk about his 3 fumbles?
Yeah.
Honestly, it's kind of intriguing how similar it was tough. I had to pick between Josh Jacobs and Kyren Williams for how high I wanted to put them. Because, I mean, they both had really similar seasons last year. But definitely, Josh Jacobs had a really nice change of scenery going over to Green Bay. Hopefully this year, with a second year experience, and them not relying as much on Jordan Love in the pass game, because I don't think the receiving room got better.
Okay, hold on.
I think it has
Matthew Gold.
potential, but not immediately better.
Okay. I think they'll be fine with the core group of Jacob, Tucker Kraft, Matthew Golden, Reed. I think there's something there. Watson, if he can stay healthy, but
yeah,
that boy can never stay healthy. I feel bad for him. But yeah, I think Jacobs at number 6 is fair with the way he played. He was top. He was top 5 in the league in rushing last year.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Speaking of top 5, are we ready for you to go to top 5, or did you have anything else to rebut?
No, that's about all I got for Josh Jacobs. I mean, I think he'll probably be he'll be close to top 5 back this year again. Might just miss out. Might be the 6th best running back, like we predicted. We'll have to find out.
All right. Are you ready for my number 5? I don't think you are.
I don't think I am either.
My number 5 running back, James Cook.
Wow.
And now, all I got to hear for weeks on edge is how Saquon Barkley carries Jalen Hurts, right? Why don't we talk about Josh Allen before James Cook became an established running back? I didn't see him winning no MVPs then. When James Cook got to Buffalo and they turned into a team that actually ran the football, it wasn't just a run-first team. They weren't even a 60-40 run pass. They were 80-20 pass run. They didn't run the football to save their lives in Buffalo. James Cook comes over 2 years ago, 1,100 yards, 2 touchdowns. Okay, not great. This past year, only cracked 1,000 yards by 9, but 16 rushing touchdowns.
And he averaged 5 yards per carry.
Yeah, not to mention he caught 32 balls for 258 last year, and he caught 44 for 445 the year prior. James Cook, honestly, transformed the Buffalo Bills' entire offense when he became the RB1. I understand what Saquon Barkley did in Philadelphia, but the Eagles have always done that. They have always been a run-first team under Nick Sirianni. They did it with Saquon Barkley. They did it with Miles Sanders. They did it with DeAndre Swift. Even though Brian Johnson was a brain-dead offensive coordinator, they still ran the football a lot. They will always run the football with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni will always make sure that the Philadelphia Eagles run the football and run the football effectively. But with James Cook, in terms of the pass game, because ever since he became the running back, Josh Allen's turnovers have cut down almost in half. That's a big, big impact from James Cook. He's coming off the contract extension. I got James Cook at number 5.
All right. I don't hate it. Definitely don't hate it. I will say, though, he didn't make my top 10 list.
That's fine.
But
Randy's more of a dual threat than Josh Jacobs and Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. At my number 5, I have Jonathan Taylor.
Okay.
I still like the left side duo that the Colts have. I know they lost a lot of pieces. They lost their center, right guard, but they're the Colts. They'll usually have a solid O-line regardless. My reasoning for having him higher on my list is I think that they're really going to struggle a lot when it comes to the quarterback play. So I think they're going to need to rely on him a lot more. And if we can get him back to playing, forget a 17-game season. Give him 15, maybe 16 games. He's probably going to get over 1,500 rushing yards. And he's probably going to put the ball in the end zone like over 12 times. And when you look at the depth of the running back room, I mean, Tyler Goodson, DJ Giddens, Khalil Herbert. Khalil Herbert's listed as their fourth string running back. And I don't even know who the other two are. So I think that tells you a lot about the running back room.
Yeah, it pretty much does.
So it's gonna, if he's healthy, they're gonna work him hard. It's gonna be the Jonathan Taylor show. It could be like his second year, 2021, where he rushed for 1,800, 18 touchdowns. If he doesn't miss time, doesn't miss games, I could totally see him doing it. But with a higher workload, it's probably going to put more wear on him.
Yeah.
What? He's 26. He'll be all right.
All right. So now we moved in to the top four.
Top four.
And my number 4, I've got Jahmyr Gibbs.
Damn you, Sam. Why?
Now, before I ruffle people's feathers with this, Jahmyr Gibbs, I think, is easily worthy of a top 4 running back spot. The only reason he is at 4, not in the top 3, not because he can't, I don't believe he can't do it. It's because they are still going to run that duo of him and Montgomery almost 50-50.
So I'm going to do you one better. I agree with what you said there. The reason that I didn't have him at number 2 for myself is because I got to see how the offensive system looks without Ben Johnson.
That's another reason. But
offensive line took a significant impact.
Oh, yeah. He's too talented to be out of the top 5. Let's just go with that.
Exactly. Because he's going to produce regardless.
But, and not only that, and it's no offense to him. It's not an insult to him whatsoever. It's just the fact that with the way my top 3 are, they are going to carry heavier loads than he is. And it's nothing against him. He can do it. But with the way Dan Campbell and them run, it's not like David Montgomery all of a sudden is only going to touch the football 5 times a game. It's not how they run.
They kind of, towards like the middle to end of last year, did take back some of Montgomery's touches a little bit.
He was also hurt, too.
He did miss time. That is true.
He banged his knee up. And again, I don't think it's a doubt who the more talented running back is out of those two. I think it's easily Jahmyr Gibbs, but David Montgomery is no slouch. We need to remember David Montgomery is a former 1,000-yard rusher in this league.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, them balancing the workload is the best for both of them. And I mean, he still produces even doing it. He actually probably produces better because so far his career average rushing is 5.5 yards per carry, which is among some of the highest in the league. And then last year, his receiving average was almost 10 yards per catch.
He averaged 9.9. He had 52 catches. Listen, he caught 52 out of 63 targets for 500 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Oh, I know. I had him on fantasy. Keep on talking.
I had him on fantasy. Keep on talking. Good for you, buddy.
McCaffrey. Yeah. All right. I deserve Jahmyr Gibbs because I had Christian McCaffrey. Could you just imagine if McCaffrey was healthy? I would have been unstoppable.
He would have won. He would have won without a doubt.
Unstoppable. And now I'm not drafting either of them this year.
My number 3 running back I have is Bijan Robinson.
Boo, you stink.
Do you have him there too?
Nope.
Oh.
Didn't make my list.
Yeah, okay. Bijan, you know what? I didn't realize this at first. 61 catches last year? Holy crap. 430 yards, 1 touchdown, but 1,456 yards, 14 rushing touchdowns. He's going to have to be the focal point of that offense this year, especially with Michael Penix now being the full-time starter. So, I have Bijan number 3. I have no issue with it.
At my number 3, I have the King,
Okay.
King Henry. Now you might be wondering, why didn't you have Bijan at 3 and Derrick Henry at 2? Well, I'll get to my reasoning for Bijan in a moment here. But for Derrick Henry, I mean, the dude's been top 3 running back in the league for as many years as I can remember, except for the year that he got hurt. But it's literally been from like 2019 to 2024. Like, the dude's just a beast. And his first year with the Ravens probably had his most, maybe his most efficient year in the NFL. Pretty close to his 2020 season. And he's going to do it again this year. I mean, the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. He's improved as a passer. He's a good quarterback. He's a capable quarterback. He can beat you in multiple different ways. The Ravens are going to beat you down running the football. That's how it's going to go. They have decent wide receivers, but they don't have great wide receivers. Zay Flowers still has things he needs to prove to me to view him as an elite wide receiver. He's not there yet. Mark Andrews is a good tight end, but he only gets you so far. And obviously not any further than the playoffs.
Yeah. And not to mention, I remember how many people said that Derrick Henry would struggle in that Ravens system where it would be out of the shotgun and not under center like Tennessee. Well, yeah, how'd that work for you?
Yeah, it seemed like he didn't care at all.
Good question from Mike here. He's asking about if Nick Chubb's going to be okay. Well, Mike, he's now the RB1 in Houston since Joe Mixon's going to start the year on the IR.
Yep. So hopefully he stays healthy, or I don't know who the running back will be.
Nick Chubb in Houston's offensive line as the RB1. What could possibly go wrong?
Protect him.
No, it's easy. You just got to run to Laramie Tunsil. Oh, wait. Shit.
Oh, wait. Sorry. Too soon.
Well, they could also run toward Kenyon Green. Oh, wait. Oh, double crap.
Yeah, he's running on the how do I put this politely?
On the free agent market.
Yeah, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at the free agent market. I didn't know that's what you called guys who didn't get signed.
Coming in at my number 2 running back, I do have the King, Derrick Henry. Easily the second best running back season last year. 1,900 yards, 16 touchdowns. He averaged 113 rushing yards a game. And in a complete new system. Oh, and by the way, in the playoffs, he averaged 135 rushing yards a game in the 2 games that he played. So, yeah, Derrick Henry is still one of the best running backs I've ever seen as a physical specimen that he is. I am comfortably okay with having him as my number 2 running back heading into the season.
All right. I like it. No complaints.
The top 4 could go in so many different ways.
It could. And I mean, let's just say the top 3, because our top 3 is all the same guys. My number 2, I got Bijan Robinson.
What?
He's got his own mustard. Bijan's Dijon.
Wait, are you serious?
I'm dead serious. He's got his own mustard brand. Mm-hmm.
I wonder if they sell it at the stadium.
That'd be hilarious. So, Bijan Robinson, I mean, you touched base on it pretty well. I mean, dude was almost carried their playmaking last year. Drake London and the receivers had a good year too, but almost 1,500 on the ground. He almost averaged 5 yards per carry, 14 touchdowns. Didn't lose a single fumble, which was a problem for him in his rookie year. He lost 3 fumbles. Last year, ball security went up. Didn't lose any. And then to add on 61 catches for 431 yards. I mean, I only see him getting better. I still think the Falcons have one of the top 5 offensive lines in the league, which is going to help as well. And they're going to rely on him heavily to take some pressure off of Penix, because I don't think Penix is ready for the big time yet. But it's kind of going to be like a learn as you go, you get the experience right away kind of thing. Because he wasn't awful last year when he came in, but he wasn't great.
No.
So this year is going to be a big tell.
Well, yeah. Late season, got thrown in there because Cousins you couldn't play Cousins anymore at that point.
Yeah.
He's had all the reps in preseason. Now we see how it looks on the field now. This will be a very telling year about the Falcons' future. And look, do we have to go separately on number one? I think it's safe to say we know who number one is.
Everyone knows who number one is. Miles Sanders. Oh, wait.
He hasn't been the RB1 since he was in high school in Pennsylvania.
Oh, man. Well, good thing him and Saquon didn't go to the same high school.
But no. Number one running back for the 2025 season is, without a doubt, Saquon Barkley. And all I have to tell you is Super Bowl champion, 2,000-yard rusher, and literally is the reason the Eagles won the Super Bowl because, yes, even though his own performance was not great, Steve Spagnuolo was so obsessed with trying to stop him, he forgot about the other 10 guys on the football field.
Yep. Exactly.
So I think it's without a doubt that we don't have any. So Anthony, for all our number one list are Eagles, this is the one that was definitely going to be number one. And I don't think there's really much of a discussion.
There is no discussion. I mean, throughout the regular season, you saw they dominated almost every single team. Come postseason, every playoff game up before the Super Bowl, he dominated every team there too. That's why, like you said, Spagnuolo was so locked in on slowing him down, and he did. There's 10 other guys you got to focus on too, and they all cooked him. Every last one of them. Man, that was such a fun game to watch.
Which one?
All of them. But no, the Super Bowl, man, you finally get the revenge game. And what do? They don't just win the game. They dominate and control all 4 quarters. Oh, here we go. Anthony was waiting for this.
Anthony, we've done these lists now, and we've only had 3 times the Eagles have been number one. It's not my fault.
And we didn't even have our wide receiver duo on there.
No.
We both had Chase and Higgins as our number one duo, right?
I mean, look, Anthony, just from last season, are you going to tell me that Saquon Barkley was not the best running back in football, which ultimately will make the Eagles the best offensive line in football?
Whoa, Anthony, we already did top 10 offensive.
Yes.
Yes, it was the...
Oh, Anthony,
come on.
Next week is the start of the season. We've got one top 10 list left, and you already know what list that is.
It's top 10 quarterbacks.
Yep. But
Stick
seriously,
see if Jalen Hurts makes it to number one.
I want to put him at number one just to piss Anthony off. But no, in all seriousness, Saquon Barkley was the best running back last year. Ultimately, Eagles are the best offensive line of football, and the Eagles had the best defense of football last year.
Yep. I mean, you won the Super Bowl for a reason. You were good at a lot of stuff.
Go ask Patrick Mahomes how good the Eagles defense was.
You can't be mediocre. Ask Travis Kelce. Dude was fighting for his life.
Anybody. Go ask Joe Tooney how the Eagles defense was last year.
Oh, no.
And that is our top 10 running backs for 2025. Oh, Anthony, who says he is? Who said he is? Who said he isn't? You'll have to find out next week. But anyway, Tyler, since Anthony's fresh in the comments with us, Anthony, I'm sure you're a happy camper today because the Washington Commanders finally decided to swallow their pride and pay their wide receiver.
Oh, yeah.
So, for anybody that wants to know the terms of the deal for Terry McLaurin, if my phone would love to work for once, it loads perfectly until I need it to, and then we start not wanting to work. But anyway, Terry McLaurin earlier today with the Washington Commanders, it's a 3-year extension. It includes a $30 million signing bonus, and and the max worth of this 3-year extension can exceed $96 million. This is very similar to what the Eagles gave A.J. Brown last offseason. Tyler, what are your thoughts?
They had to get it done. I mean, we talked about it when the news first broke. They were going to struggle and have a bit of a decrease offensively without McLaurin. Deebo Samuel's only going to get you so far. And then they traded away Brian Robinson. So they did need to keep McLaurin. I mean, he's pretty much damn near a top 10 wide receiver in the league. And if he's not, he's close to it. I mean, he's a playmaker, 1,000-yard receiver. I mean, what more could you ask for?
Yeah, what could you ask for? So, I mean, this now gives your young quarterback his wide receiver 1. And it has him locked in for the long run with him, so.
Mm-hmm.
Mikey, we're here for the people. We are always here for the people. We are always giving the info out. Yeah, they do have a young rookie running back in Washington that they really like, so that's why Robinson.
Yeah.
Brian Robinson, it just is what he is.
Yeah. Well, he'll be a solid backup. Honestly, going to that Shanahan system, he might have one of his best years.
So, that's the first bit of news that happened today. Another bit of news, Tyler. Finally, this Trey Hendrickson thing is over.
Oh, yeah.
Bengals and Trey Hendrickson finally reached agreement today on a $14 million pay raise for this year, boosting his 2025 salary to $30 million. He is still scheduled to become an unrestricted free agent, but will be suiting up opening day for the Bengals. Now, Diana Rossini put out a tweet saying the Bengals originally offered Hendrickson a 3-year, $95 million deal that did not include guaranteed money in the second year.
Oh.
Hendrickson and the Bengals were able to reach an agreement a half hour. This was back when she tweeted it. But yeah, so essentially he was offered a 3-year deal with no guaranteed money in year 2.
That's terrible. What?
No, that was what was reported that they offered him originally.
Yeah.
He turned it down, said, "Look, just pay me give me $30 million this year, and I'm leaving."
Which, hey, that's valid. He gets paid. He's worth every single million that you gave him.
Well, Anthony, if they tag him next year, he's retiring.
Oh, he will not be happy with that.
He just won't show up.
Yeah.
I don't understand what's the point of tagging players that you know aren't going to show up.
Yeah, right. The tag should be a two-way thing. Like, the player has to agree to it as well.
Yeah, because it shouldn't be a way to lock up a player's loyalty, so-called. It should be hey, we want to get a long-term deal done, so do you. Let's tag you. We'll have you here for another year, and we'll have a whole other year to negotiate these things.
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, still, the Trey Hendrickson thing has been solved. The Terry McLaurin thing has been solved. And then there's Jerry Jones. Hi, Jerry.
And then there's Jerry.
Got a pretty big player you still got to pay over there, Jerry.
Yeah, he's not getting away with a 1 year extension either. That ain't happening.
Oh, God, no.
Yeah, that's
Anthony said,
going
I
to
think,
be like a 3 or 4 year deal there.
hey, you know what, Anthony? Guess what? If Joe Burrow wants to win, Joe can take a pay cut.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick Mahomes has taken a pay cut every year since he got a contract. Jalen Hurts took less money on his cap hit so they can keep the team around him. Joe Burrow wants to win. Joe Burrow can take a pay cut.
Yeah. Because, hey, it's either, you want to make the most money out of all the quarterbacks and then convince your team to go out and pay both of your wide receivers so that they can have some nice chunk of change too, but there's not enough money to go to anybody else. Well, you can have fun with your 7-win seasons, 8-win seasons, miss the playoffs, but you'll be like a possible MVP candidate if you actually won more games. It's just your defense won't be able to hold teams under 30 points.
Now, don't get me wrong. The Bengals did not miss the playoffs last year because of Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow played sensational last year.
It was because of the defense.
Their defense is awful. That's why.
But yeah, that's what he's got to do. He's got to take a pay cut so they can actually build out a competitive roster around him. Not just, okay, we got Joe Burrow and the best receiving duo in football.
Well, the offense is starting to balance out. Mike Gesicki actually had a really fine year last year for the Bengals, which ultimately got him a new extension in Cincinnati. Pace Brown emerged as their RB1, and he actually played really well. Hendrickson's back in the fold. I hope Shamar Stewart can play. If Shamar Stewart can play, then that helps them a lot.
Oh, it does. I just don't know how much they're expected to get out of him.
Neither do I. But the Bengals are in a very tough situation. And Tyler, our last little bit of news we have is that the Raiders officially signed Amari Cooper to a 1-year deal. This just coming hours after Jakobi Meyers requested to be traded. Yeah, now, the Raiders have been a little reluctant as they are kind of transitioning into a new regime, which is why they haven't really thrown a lot of money at players, including Meyers. Tyler, what are your thoughts on the whole Raiders fiasco?
I mean, it makes sense. They're still essentially in a rebuild, right? Like, they have a solid roster this year. They'll be able to win games. They're not going to go far. They got Geno Smith for a few years. He's just kind of like the holdover quarterback until they can hopefully get one drafted to be the face of the franchise. You got Gentry, who should be the face of the franchise at running back for years to come. Wide receiver, it's really a toss-up. I mean, you got Brock Bowers. He's going to be one of your top receiving targets for a while. They still need to get that one really good young wide receiver. They're still missing that, but, I'm surprised they didn't try harder to, come to terms on a deal with Jakobi Meyers because he is a good wide receiver. He had a good year last year with them, with very terrible quarterback play. So I think there's going to be a few teams looking to make a move for him. But I do like that they brought in, former Raider and veteran Amari Cooper.
Yeah.
Wow, is that really true what Anthony said?
Yeah, no, Junkins has not been signed yet, so
there's now he's got legal troubles going on. That's why.
He's been cleared of that.
Oh, he has been cleared of that. Okay.
But there's a speculation that he may return to college.
Really? That would be interesting.
So we'll have to wait and see how that works, but no, I hope they figure something out with Jakobi Meyers now so they don't have to go through trading him a week before the season. Because now you don't have to thrust a kid like Beck into the starting role right away. Cooper can still play some decent snaps in the NFL. You put him on the other side of Myers with Bowers and Genty with Geno. That offense could make a little noise. I'm not going to say they're going to be the best offense in football. They're probably not even top 10, but they're a top 18-ish offense. I mean, there's only 20-something spots, but still. It's better than what they had last year.
Yeah, definitely a lot better.
I want to, while we kick some Birds talk off before we get out of here.
Oh, man, where do we start? I feel like we missed so much.
Well, let's just think. In the past week, Howie Roseman has traded for John Mechie, traded for Fred Johnson, traded for Sam Howell, and traded Darian Kennard to the Packers. Take your pick.
Let's start with future wide receiver 3, John Mechie.
Well, that trade actually came at a really good time because, unfortunately, it's like a day or two later, Johnny Wilson hurt his knee and is now out for the season. Now, that hurts the Eagles in terms of their blocking assignments because Johnny Wilson is actually a very good blocking wide receiver. And I thought he was actually – and I thought he was going to carve himself out a role going into the season on the offensive end. He was having a really good camp. He was having a solid preseason.
I thought he was too because, I mean, he's a very valuable red zone target. I mean – a big frame. What is he, like 6'5"? Something crazy like that.
Try like 6'7", bud.
So 6'7". Yeah, I was real close, wasn't I? 6'7". Jeez, you can't teach that.
Okay, big cat. 6'6". We were both wrong.
Oh, yeah, damn. All right. Well, hey, we were both close. But yeah, I really liked how he was able to, box guys out, use his frame. Reminds me of like a tight end almost.
Yeah. And not to mention, the Eagles they've liked Mechie for a while. There's been some interest there for a while with the Eagles. They've liked Mechie for a while, and he's good friends with Devontae Smith. He's good friends with he knows Jalen. So he'll come in, he'll compete. Honestly, the positional fit makes more sense than Dotson. I've already said Jahan Dotson cannot be a slot wide receiver. I've told people this 1,000 times. I watched him in Washington. I watched his whole freaking career at Penn State. He is not a slot receiver. If the Eagles are going to want to get Jahan Dotson's potential in that offense, he has to play outside, and Smith or AJ have to move inside the slot. You cannot put Jahan Dotson in the freaking slot. It doesn't work. Mechie, on the other hand, operates a little bit better from the slot. So it'll be interesting to see how they get him involved in the offense with only having about 2 weeks of camp with the Eagles ahead of the Dallas game.
Yeah. Hey, keep it simple. Don't try and reinvent the wheel. Just get him out there, get him comfortable. Get him some easy targets. He's obviously not going to be the number one option, so teams aren't going to be looking to shut him down.
Yeah. And now let's move on. Which one do you want to talk about next? You want to talk about the Fred Johnson thing or the Sam Howell trade?
Big Fred.
Big Fred's back. Look, clearly backup offensive line was a concern with this team. It was so bad that they had no issue waiving Kendall Green. Kendall Lamb is not making this team. He has stunk all preseason. I don't know how he has. Somebody said on Eagles Twitter, he does not look like a guy that has started 44 career games in the NFL.
Not at all.
And yes, they traded Darian Kennard to the Packers. Kennard and Matt Pryor were their favorites to be the backup swing tackle. And they're not tackles.
Yeah.
And now, in terms of the guys they drafted, from what I heard, they really like Miles Hinton a lot. They think that he's got all the physical traits to be a swing tackle, maybe even a potential right tackle replacement one day, but he still needs a lot of development. So they're going to keep him and staff him, but he's not ready to be that swing tackle. Cameron Williams, on the other hand, has looked terrible all summer.
Yeah. Definitely should have stuck at college for another year.
Yeah, people said he would have been a first-round pick if he would have stayed another year. So, if you look at it, They're going to literally go into the season with their swing tackle position being backup guard. And look, I know it's easy for people to say, well, why didn't they just re-sign Fred Johnson after the season? Fred wanted an opportunity to go somewhere and start. The Eagles cannot give him that because they have a first ballot Hall of Fame right tackle and a top 2 left tackle in the game. You're not going to have that opportunity here. So he wanted to get a chance to go start. He wasn't going to get in Jacksonville. Howie Roseman picked up the phone and made the call. So now you're usually dressing 3 reserve offensive linemen on game day. So Fred's going to be back in that swing tackle. Now Matt Pryor, who has actually carved out a very good career as a reserve guard for other teams, is going to come in here. He'll be your backup guard. And Drew Kendall's going to, it sounds like he's going to be dressing on game days too. Drew Kendall had a tremendous preseason. The kid out of Boston College. So it sounds like those are going to be your 3 guys that dress on game day behind the starter.
Yep.
So, and look, it's easy because Fred gets right back in there with Stoutland. He knows the system. He's played both sides of this offensive line. It's a good fit. And in terms of the Sam Howell thing, this is how bad our third-string quarterback situation was. I know there were people concerned about Kenny Pickett. Yes, Kenny Pickett has a fracture on the top of his one thumb. It is not considered to be concerning. He is not going to be IR to start the season. He possibly will still be the backup come next week, depending on how the thumb is healing. If not, he misses a week and Sam Howell backs up Jalen on banner night. Whoop-de-doo. Once again, guys, it's not always Nick Foles. If you have your backup in the game, you're screwed anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
The Sam Howell trade, from what I heard, would have been done no matter what because Kyle McCord and Dorian Thompson-Robinson both played like absolute crap. I can't believe how bad Kyle McCord played in the preseason.
So did McCord get named to practice squad, or did they release him?
Oh, he was outright. He was outright released. He wasn't even waived. He was released.
Jeez. Whew. Yeah. Look, I mean, there's a reason he fell that far. I didn't see a whole lot. I thought he had more potential, but yeah, he didn't look good at all.
Not one bit.
I would have loved that. If McKee was healthy, I would have loved to just watch McKee cook every team in the preseason.
He did the Bengals. He cooked their starters. But the Sam Howell trade, it is what it is. It's a third stringer. You get a guy in here that has starting experience. I mean, he started 17 games for the Commanders 2 years ago. He ripped us apart in that game where we had to beat them in overtime. I'll never forget, that was the one time Jahan Dotson actually played a slot wide receiver and caught a touchdown on Josh Jobe, of all people. Remember Josh Jobe, Tyler?
Yeah.
Now, I think the question is now, how he's addressed third-string quarterback. He got John Mechie. He addressed the swing tackle. Is there another move coming? I mean, roster cutdown day is tomorrow. So, what are we thinking here?
I don't know. That's tough.
So far, the camp cuts that we have are DTR, Kyle McCord, Montrell Johnson Jr., Skunderic Powell, Keelan Robinson, Terrace Marshall, Elijah Cook, E.J. Jenkins got cut, Nick Muse, Kenyon Green, Eli Ricks, Maxine Hook, and Louis Sin. Those are the notable cuts so far for the Eagles.
So how many more need to be trimmed down again?
You have to get all the way down to 53 tomorrow.
What are we at right now?
I have no clue.
Oh, you don't know? Shit. Okay.
But you have to go from 90 to 53.
Damn. Let me try. I want to look up if I can find out what they're at.
Yeah, I have no idea.
I'm sure someone's gotta.
So, I'm thinking another move is coming. I think this will be a more impactful one because it sounds like the Eagles are still looking for some edge help that can actually play. I don't know if Uche and Olojalare showed them enough to be comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, did you see that one earlier? ESPN proposed a trade of Trey Hendrickson for Jalen Hunt in a second-round pick. You can keep the 30-year-old pass rusher.
Yeah, have fun with that.
I'll take the guy that can actually get the Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl.
So I could see. I think Powell Ryland's probably going to get practice squatted. I don't know if they carry him. I don't think they release him though, because I mean, with how he performed in college, you got to try to see if there's some sort of potential there. I don't know. I don't really know much about Chance Campbell.
He'll get cut. He's been here for 2 weeks.
Lance Dixon.
Cut.
Let's see. Other than that, I mean, I would love to cut Tristan McCullum, but that's not going to happen because we don't have any safety depth.
God, how bad is our safety depth that we have to keep this guy?
Well, our depth is so bad, we're probably going to keep a guy named Maxon Hook.
Nope, he got cut.
Oh, he got cut? Oh, sorry. ESPN is not up to date. All right.
That's not a surprise.
Yeah, that's not a surprise at all. Well, let's see. Well, they got Eli Ricks off of here, so they got that up to date.
I'd fire someone tomorrow for that.
Who else?
Darius Cooper better make this team.
Yeah, dude. I swear, if Darius Cooper gets released, I'm riding. You know who can get cut? Ife Adai.
What did you call me?
Whoever the hell that is. We got him from Sam Houston. Bye-bye.
Anaya Smith is probably not going to make the team now because of that.
What do you mean?
They're not going to carry all these wide receivers.
Well, let's see. How many do you think they're going to carry?
AJ, Devontae, Mechie, Dotson, Cooper would be the fifth. They're not carrying six.
You think they're going to carry five?
Yeah.
Well, Johnny Wilson's going to be IR the whole year.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, I think Taylor Moore, and he'll be released if he's not already released. Avery Williams, they'll be released.
Well, now here's the really
on the roster. 5th round pick from 2021. What the hell?
Just let's go. What's up?
That guy, he's just a camp body.
Well, let's go down to the offensive line real quick because and in terms of tight end, Kylan Grant is going to be the tight end 3, which I'm actually not surprised at.
Yeah.
Offensive line, you're going to be looking at Dickerson. I think Hinton's going to stay. I think that the 3 guys that are going to be active on game day are going to be Pryor, Drew Kendall, and Fred Johnson. Kenyon Green's already been waived.
I think Keegan will be active.
Keegan may make the team, but I don't think he'll be active on game days. I think Keegan and Hinton are probably the project guys that they keep because Kendall Lamb is terrible.
Yeah. What about Holland Pierce?
Brett Coates may be another guy that I hope they probably will keep. So we'll have to wait and see.
Holland Pierce?
I don't know.
I don't know if that Laken Vakalahi has a shot. Maybe practice squad. I don't know. He's that rugby player they try to take as a project like a year ago.
Anthony, that's because Jerry Jones thinks he's dealing with contract situations back in 1993.
Yeah, it's funny. Like, Micah is like, talk to my agent. He doesn't want to talk to Jerry. And then Jerry's like, oh, he's only told me to speak with his agent. I want to speak to him. It's like, all right, buddy.
Gary.
He's
Now
a senile old man.
let's look at defensive line. Carter, Davis, Ajomo, Kai Robinson's going to make it. It sounds like they're going to try to keep both Gabe Hall and Byron Young. Byron Young, they said, had a really good summer.
Okay. Yeah, Jacob Sykes will probably get cut. Joe Evans will get cut.
Justin Rogers will get cut.
Yeah.
Now, linebackers.
Okoronkwo.
He's probably going to get cut. He actually had a solid summer, but I think he's still going to get cut.
Yeah.
And in terms of off-ball linebackers, you got Jahad Campbell, Zach Vaughn. Oh, by the way, we've been pronouncing his name wrong. It's actually Smile Mondon.
Smile Mondon.
So, yeah, he'll be there, and so will Trotter. And the edge rushers right now, it's Hunt, Nolan, I guess Azeez Ojulari, and Josh Uche. And I heard Patrick Johnson.
I kind of hope Patrick Johnson makes the team.
Preseason warrior, man.
Yeah, preseason warrior's right. You know, he's that guy who will come in and make like one play every 5 games for you. Yeah, maybe we do need to rethink bringing him back. It's been in the league, 4 years now? Might be time.
And for the secondary, I'll let you, the fans, think about that because McCollum's still here and whole bunch of stuff.
How do you feel about Castro Fields, Sam? Penn State guy.
He's going to get cut.
Yeah. I only see Mitchell, Bennett, Adore, Keeley.
Oh, my God.
I don't even know if Nickerson will make the team.
He won't, and it's a thing because he's actually had a really good summer.
I know, he has. He has.
What?
What? They're going to go with the younger guys, you know? I mean, if you're 30 years old and you're not even, like, second string, come on.
But yeah, so it'll be interesting for final roster cut down day tomorrow. Definitely something we'll be monitoring.
Oh, yeah. What will be interesting, I will say, is ESPN currently has our punt return depth as Cooper DeJean, Avery Williams, and Ainias Smith. If they cut Avery Williams and Ainias Smith, Sam, Cooper DeJean's the only one listed for punt returns.
I will fire Michael Clay the next day.
Yeah, they might want to keep Ainias Smith.
Why not let Dotson do it? He did it at Penn State.
Yeah, why not? I mean, obviously, they're going to have to make some adjustments because Avery Williams is not making the team.
Avery Williams, thank
Do you really think Ainias is going to get cut?
He may save his job because of being a specialist.
Yeah, I could see that.
Anyway, we have anything else you want to talk about?
No, I don't think so.
This is a heck of a show.
Yeah, man. 2 hours, 15 minutes. Big football preview. Big weekend coming up.
Oh, yeah. Big weekend coming up. And, guys, 10 more days. We are back with Eagles football. And you all, Eagles fans or not, get to see the banner be dropped on opening night. And we get to laugh in all of your faces once again. But, guys, enjoy this weekend coming up. College football is officially back. Penn State's back. Bryce Underwood debut. Multiple top 10 and top 25 matchups across the board, including Ohio State and Texas at noon. And, of course, we have the 7:30 game, LSU and Clemson. And we have a Sunday game, Notre Dame and Miami. But, guys, enjoy this weekend of college football. and we will see you guys for our first NFL preview show next week. Oh, Tyler, we get to bring back some segments.
Oh, man.
Around the NFL is back next week.
Around the NFL.
So, guys, thank you all for joining us tonight. We can't wait for next Monday. Final show before the NFL season. Hope you guys are here with us to enjoy the final preview show heading into the 2025 season. So thank you all for joining us. Have a safe rest of your night. Have a safe week, and we'll see you next time. For Kyler Adams, Sam Nelson, good night, everybody.